frets are getting choppy. See, watch that. So I slow it down when it gets choppy. If you start getting funky after a period of time, you're getting tired. But then just slow it down. You don't want to play much longer, but because it gets harder in a different way when you get slower. You got to rely on different control. Like you almost got to start going then heel down. And that's hard for me. Try it again. Shite. Slow it down. See, it's getting choppy. Okay, so when that happens, you reach a law of diminishing returns. So let me just. It's like pulling teeth, baby. So I'm going to go to that point then. Because now we're slow. I'm going heel down. Flat heel, my hinge of my foot. Whole L. Okay. So now I'm lifting my heel up a little there. If I go faster, I'll lift that heel up a little more. But then once you really see, this is, I'm sure, funny to a lot of double bass drummers, especially who have all those fancy pedals. But there's sort of just a different way with the right foot, because what'll happen is a double bass drum foot sounds too precise in a way, because it's really sort of what happens is when you do it with one foot, there has like a one footwork and really hard sound to it, and the more pretty you can play it. Like I think if you had like a double bass doing that, it might be like, it would, I think it would, well, maybe not that. That sounds pretty good, but when you hear, all right, like in All My Love, you hear Bonham actually play that, right? Hang on a second, it's been a while since I've done it, so let me get in. You know what I mean? Now, if you listen closely to that, you can hear Bonham stumble a few of those, okay? I mean, obviously he wasn't perfect, but the point is that when you maintain, like for me, if I was Bonham or Jimmy Page and I heard that playback of some of those things, I probably would have been like, "Hey man, we got to redo it," you know. But I mean, just because I'm a total obsessive compulsive freak, but listen, even Bonham doing it, you know, sometimes instead of sounding, it sounds a little. I mean, it stumbles a little, okay. So they might have done 30 takes of it, and he was tired. But the point is that goes to prove that the more you do it, you will get tired, and then just stay away with it from a day or two or three, and then come back to it, okay? But, you know, the thing about playing a busy bass drum like that, it's choppy. It's not really in a lot of styles, especially the Bonham style. I mean, in Zeppelin, you'll hear, he doesn't play a lot of that fancy stuff. He does it, but then just in the right parts, like he picks the right places to do it. When you listen early on to live Zeppelin, you remember when they said, in the books, they said, you'll hear that Bonham started out with two bass drums when he got the Thermogloss kit. There were two bass drums, and he'd play them out. I mean, he would. There were, I think, half the first tour maybe he had 2 bass drums, but they said, Bonham, your playing is too busy. But I think when he went back to 1 bass drum, if you listen to those first couple of years, his bass drum playing is really busy, just with the 1 foot. Like there's a lot of that. Like when you listen to like the I Can't Quit You Baby and stuff, and and it sort of seems to culminate the super busy bass drum. To me, in like '71, you hear like that BBC Sessions Paris Theatre in London kind of thing. I mean, you really. Anyway, so it's good just to have that control. Again, straight up double bass drum players will probably find this funny. But again, when they do a lot of real fast singles, it's not really. It's almost like a clock thing, where you really need just to sort of be perfectly synchronized. And they'll do that like to a metronome. So it's difficult, it's extremely difficult to do that, but it's a different animal than this a little bit, okay? For one, is you're forcing all those notes, not necessarily in a single line like you would do single stroke. There's breakups. I mean, it's not like for 2 minutes, right? Anyway, so that's this. Okay, back to, so in conjunction with the obtain the Bonham foot, this is like a part 2, because maybe I just didn't explain enough. But how I actually just played it for the last, 15 minutes, is how I'll actually do it. And I won't do it that often, because that doesn't require, in what I do, I never really require that. But also, too, I will say in a lot of my videos, I really wish I had practiced more before I did it, but sometimes I just sit out and I do it, But I want to leave it in, because that's how drummers are. I mean, I don't know. I mean, even like even Bonham, 1976, if you pushed him out of bed and said, hey, real fast, give me good times, bad times, it might take him a minute or two to sort of get the mojo back in his foot, or anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, here are some paradigms again, I think, for Bonham. Do that. And, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Again, that's a 30-second note, just in time and relative to the 6/8 count here. But in regular Berg, that would just be 16ths, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. Okay, but you just choose one of those 16ths out. Okay, one grouping of 2. But again, since it's 6/8, you're going to call that a 32nd. Okay. That's a good one too. That's definitely like the 1968 to 71. Moxie's celebrating the verdict. There we go. See that? That's sort of the step up from the. Okay. Now that's a good one to practice in a row too. And slow it down. But you want to keep it. See how that gets a little choppy? That was better. Mox, what is going on up there? Okay? So that's the addendum to my foot video, okay? And I'm also going to make a video on some Moby Dick stuff, okay? And what I want to do is I actually want to make a for rent video. You know, it says for rent. For like 40 cents or whatever, you can rent the video, just to see what it's like. Okay, I have no intention of making all my videos for rent. This one time, I would just want to see. It's like it's like I'm trying sushi for the first time. Just want to check it out. Instead of then I'll pick a sushi I like, just since I'm going to try it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in what I think is extremely valuable information for Moby Dick Live, when Bonham, like the 1971-ish, 2-ish, 3-ish, the version, okay? There's a lot of specific things I'll put in there then, since you're going to be paying 49 cents or 99 cents for it or whatever. My daughter made me this. I love it. I might as well make it about something that you'll definitely get something out of. You don't, and that's the cool thing. You don't have to rent it, right? It's not like it's not like you pay for a subscription. You got to pay for it. But if you want to check it out, I'll make it this week or in a couple days. There's a lot of very important information from Moby Dick Live that almost all drummers don't get at all. They don't play it right because they're sticking it wrongly, incorrectly on the snare drum. So I'll put that in that video. You don't have to rent it. It's not the wave of the Bonzolium future. Just this one time, I just want to see if anybody rents my video. Okay, phone's ringing. Gotta go. Thank you very much.